ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Mandalam 10, Suktam 116. Rishi Agni-yuta Thaura Devata Indra Agni Chandastrashtu Pibasomam Mahada Indriyaya 116.1. O mightiest Indra, may you drink Atmiya Soma essence for great power. You drink it for killing enemy cloud. Being called upon by us, you drink it for wealth and strength. Drink this sweet essence, feel satisfied, and shower happiness on us. 116.2. Asya piba Shumata Prasthita. O Indra, may you drink the best part of the extracted Atmiya Soma essence. It is nourishing and is made ready for the sacrifice. Giver of prosperity, you, please delight yourself with your mind and heart, and be in front of us for giving us wealth and happiness. Mama Tutva Divya Soma Indra 116.3. O Indra, may spiritual Soma essence of the shining space delight you. May Soma extracted and purified in the lands or on the earth delight you. By what you make wealth or bliss, may that spiritual Soma essence delight you. By what you drive away enemies, may that Soma delight you. Soma of shining space implies flowing essence of Atma. Both gross and subtle Soma are also mentioned here. Advivarha Aminu Yat Vindru 116.4. O doubly strong, impetuous shower of happiness Indra, may you come to this poured out nourishing Soma with your horses or spiritual light rays. O Indra, killer of enemies, you pour in for yourself passion associated with sweet Pavamana Soma essence extracted in the spiritual rays of light and procured by us. Soma extracted in rays of spiritual light also means spiritual Soma essence. Rest of the ruks may not need any further explanations. In general, Soma can be gross, subtle or spiritual in all ruks in this sukta. Ni Tigbani Prashayan. O Indra, shining the glittering sharp weapons, please cover the firm bodies of enemies. I give you, who is terrible, strength-giving food, which could be spiritual Soma essence, which is capable of overcoming enemy strength. Virya Indra Tanuhi 116.6. O Indra, you are our master. Please extend renown for us, and towards our enemies your strength is steady like a bow. May you grow with your strength in front of us. Cause your body to grow undefeated. Idam Havirmaghavan Tubhyam Radam 116.7. O abundantly rich sovereign Lord Indra, please get hold of this oblation offered to you without getting angry. O abundantly rich Indra, this extracted spiritual Soma essence is for you. This well-cooked food is for you. Please eat it. Please enjoy this hymn which is set forth in this sacrifice. We go to the next rug, 10.116.8. Adhidindra Prasthidema Havim Shri. O Indra, may you certainly eat these oblations set forth for you and be satisfied. Please hold in your stomach the well-cooked food and Atmiya Soma essence. Offering oblations to you, we delight in you. May desires of offerer of oblations be realized. Last stroke in this sutta. Prendregnibhyam Suvachasyamir Yarmi. I will excite good Vedic hymns for Indra and spiritual Agni. Like a boat in a river, I drive forward with praises. Those shining beings who are givers of wealth to us and who are becoming visible or rising up, move about like dexterous men. We go to the next Suktam 117. Bhikshu Angirasa Devata Dhananadanam Chandas Jagadi Drushto. Most books in this sukta contain simple factual statements which all should be able to understand without additional explanations. Nava Udeva Kshudha Midvatham. Shining beings do not give hunger, but only death to all. Death comes even to men who eat food. Wealth of a person who protects it is not exhausted. And a person who is not propitiating by gifts does not gain any pitier. Ya Athaya Chagamanaya Pitvo. A person, though rich, fixes his mind not to give food for a fellow being who is desiring food and is miserable, is poor, and is wishing to approach him, but instead he enjoys himself in front of that fellow. Such a rich man does not get any comforter. Said Bhojoyo Grihave Dadat 117.3. Whoever gives for a man who is desirer of food and acceptor is emaciated and moves from house to house He only is a bestower. In invocation during sacrifice, that action becomes sufficient for him to fulfill his desires. Also, he makes friends even among his opponents. Death comes to all born beings. That is the essence of all these ruks. 117.4. Na sa sakha yo na dadati sakhe. Whoever does not give food for a companion who is serving him in friendship, such a man is no friend at all. The friend goes away from him. His house is no house. The friend desires for another refugee who is a giver of food. 117.5. Pruniyadin nathamanaya tavyan. A man strong in wealth must definitely give it for a man who begs for it. Only then he will see longer path in his life's journey, which means who will live longer. Wealth stays moving up and down like any point on the rolling wheel of a chariot. 117.6. Moghamannam vindate aprateta. A foolish man obtains or procures useless food, wealth only. I am telling the truth. That food is only death for him. Whoever does not nourish Ajyama and other shining beings, not his friends or relatives, such a man who eats on his own, excluding others, is an exclusive sinner on his own. Comment: wealth is meant for sacrifice and not for self-enjoyment. This is the essence of the ruk. 170.7. Krishanyat phala atitam krunoti ashitam krunoti. Krishanyat phala atitam krunoti. Only the plowshare which furrows makes a farmer an eater of food. One going on the road with his adventures fulfills his ambitions. A speaker of Brahman or Atmajnana is more desirable than a non-speaker. A bestower of gift becomes an ally more than or over a non-giver. 117.8. Ekapat bhuyo dvipado vichakrame. A possessor of one part, becoming greater, approach variously the state of the possessor of two parts. Possessor of two parts tries to attain the state of the possessor of three parts later. Placing himself nearby, beholding the flock of 2 and 3 part holders who are just behind, possessor of all the parts approaches. Implied meaning: a man who knows the first quarter or gross body attains the state of knower of the subtle body later, and then the state of the knower of the third body. Knower of truth, all the 4 quarters, moves hearing the calls from behind of the other 3 kinds of knowers. This is the implied meaning of the ruk. Last ruk of the sutta, 117.9. sam samau chithastau na samam vivishta. Two hands, though identical, do not serve one and the same way. Two similar cows do not yield the same quantity of milk. Valors of twin-born sons are never identical. So also, two born to the same parents never give gifts to the same extent. The gist of the Rik is, no two born beings can ever be identical. This law of nature is stated in the Rik by quoting 4 examples. 118 Sutta. This is from Urukshaya. Amahiyava Devata Rakshvahagni Chandas Gayatri Agneham Sidnyatrinam 118.1. O virtuous in contact soul of Agni, shining among mortals and in your own home, may you destroy a devouring enemy completely. May Agni burn all external enemies and demonic thoughts. That is the gist of the Rik. 118.2. Uttisthasi swahuto ghrutani. O Agni, the fire, well invoked by us, you please rise up. When the ladle comes into contact with you, may you take delight towards the ghee. Sa ahudo virojate 118.3. That Agni Atma who is invoked and is to be praised in by Vedic hymns is shining nicely. His face, the mouth is being smeared with ghee. Ghridena Agni Samajyate 118.4. Agni who is having sweetness in the mouth is shining, and who has radiance as wealth is being smeared with ghee nicely. Yaramana Samidhyase 118.5. O bearer of oblations, being praised, you are burning nicely for shining beings. Mortals invoke you. Agni supplies energy to all shining beings. This is the implied meaning of the Rik. 118.6. Tam Marta Amartyam. O mortals, you serve that soul of Agni who is immortal, is not to be trifled with. He is the Lord of the house. Sacrificial Agni lords over inhabitants of the house. Jaఠaragni is the master of each living body. Adabhena Shojishagni 118.7. O Agni, may you burn demons or demonic thoughts with your radiance, which is not to be trifled with, and you shine as a protector of Vrita. Satvamagne Pratikena 118.8. O Agni, shining in spacious dwellings, you burn the enemies by moving towards them with your radiant form. Last Rik of the Sukta 18.9. Tam tva girbhir urukshaya girbhirurukshaya. O Agni, dwellers in spacious houses, nicely kindle you with Vedic hymns. You are bearer of oblations and is most worshipworthy among thoughtful men. We go to the next Suktam 119. Shri Ravarupapanna Indra Devata Indra Chandas Gayatri. This suktam is to be considered as speech attributed to Indra by its seer, who is Indra himself. Indra is said to be engaged in various activities mentioned in the different rigs, making use of the strength he gains by drinking Soma essence. In the spiritual sense, Atmiya Pavamana Soma, flowing essence of Atma, is the cause of all manifestations in the universe. This idea is being conveyed by the last part of all the rigs, which is being repeated in every rig. 119.1 Idiva idime mano. Cows and horse shall be given. This is what is on my mind. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. This last part is to be repeated in all the rigs of the sutta. On drinking Soma or making use of Atmiya Soma essence, Indra decides to create living creatures like cows and horses. This is implied by the rig. Pravata iva dodhata. 119.2 Atmiya Soma essence drunk by me are rising up like the impetuous wind. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. Hundred 19.3 Unma Pita Ayam Sata. The drunk Atmiya Soma drops are pulling me up, like speedy horses pulling a chariot. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. Comment on this rig. Indra derives the power for creation from Soma, flowing essence of Atma. Upama Madirasthita. 119.4 Praise or mind of praises. Praise or mind of praisers approach me like glowing cow approaching its dear calf. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. Aham tashteva bandhuram. 119.5 I turn the mind with my heart like a carpenter makes the charioteer's seat. This is because I have drunk Soma shining essence many times. He sets his heart, Indra sets his heart and mind for fashioning the universe. This is the gist of the rig. 119.6 Nahi me akshivachana. Five kinds of subjects never cover what all fall within my eyesight. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. Indra creates other things than living beings. He creates inner substances also. This is the implication of the rig. Nahi me rodasi ubhe. 119.7 The two space and earth, never on a different side from me, are never against me. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. Abhidyam mahina bhuvam. 119.8 By my greatness I overcome the space and the great earth. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. Hantaham Prithivimimam 119.9. I deposit the earth here and this space here. See them. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. In addition to living forms, he created inert matter from the subtlest space to the grossest earth and objects made of these 5 basic elements. This is being implied by the Rik. Oshamet Prithvimaham 119.10. I make the shining sun run quickly around the earth here and there. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. Implication of this Rik is he causes the manifestation of the sun. Divi me anya paksho 119.11. One side of mine is in the space and the other one is down on the earth. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. No comment on this. 119.12. Ahamasmi Mahamaho. I am the great light in the sky rising up towards the atmosphere. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. Next Rik 119.13. Griho Yam Arankruto Griho Yamya Arankruto. I move bearing oblations for shining beings, getting hold of oblations adorned by performers of sacrifices. This is because I have drunk shining Soma essence many times. Summary of the Sutta. Indra carries the spiritual Soma essence extracted by enlightened souls, or shining beings, and uses it for creating this material universe. This implies that the shining Soma essence here definitely means flowing essence of Atma. Connection between Indra, Atmiya Soma, and the universe is clearly spelled out in this last suktam of the chapter, as though coming straight from Indra's mouth, perhaps to give it authoritativeness. We go to the next chapter, Mandalam 10, Ashtakam 8, chapter 7, Suktam 120, Brihadiva Krishi, Sarvana, Devada Indra, Chandastrushtu, Tadilasa, Bhuvaneshu Jeshtham. From what the brave Indra of brilliant power was born, that only is the most excellent in all the worlds. As soon as he is born, he destroys all enemies, all companions gladden or praise him. Comment. Indra, universal manifested self, is being considered as born from Atma or moving witnessing self. Imperishable one. Which is the imperishable one? Really, Indra manifests because of ignorance of the self or Mahamaya. Vavradhana Shavasa Puryoja 120.2. Indra is growing with strength. He is possessor of valor or spiritual strength, or spiritual light energy, and is enemy of infidels. He gives fear for servile enemy. He bestows living and non-living subjects. O Indra, all subjects created by you praise you together in your delights. Implied meaning, Indra causes a manifestation of living and non-living forms which bring glory to him. Tve kratumapi Vrinjandi Vishve. 120.3. O Indra, all beings who are boon companions put their intelligence in you. When these companions who are twos becomes threes, then you unite the more pleasant of all that are agreeable with sweetness. Thus the sweet fight well with sweetness. Implied meaning of this: all seekers of truth meditate on Indra, Jivatma within their hearts. Activated by Paramatma, Jivatma combine, they become capable of identifying the experiencer I and the perceived subtle and gross objects. Indra bestows bliss associated with Brahman on better ones among them by revealing self-knowledge. The sweet essence of shining Soma in them fight well with the assistance of Atma. They realize oneness of Soma, Atma with Atma. Iti chitti tva dhanajayantam. 120.4. O courageous Indra, wise men who win wealth in this way, in the delight of drinking Atmiya Soma essence only, gladden you. The more valorous you illuminate permanent wealth. May malignant, demonic enemies not hurt you. Comment: such men described in the previous rik only gladden Indra. Here wealth means Atmajnana. Demonic enemies are creations of an ignorant mind. 120.5. Tvaya vayam shashatmahe raneshu. O Indra, with your assistance, understanding many things in battles that are to be fought, we prevail over our enemies. Also, we excite your weapon, spiritual light energy quantum, with Vedic hymns. We call upon you with oblations of Vedic hymns. Weapons here imply spiritual Vajra, ray of spiritual light. Stusheyam Puruvarpasam. I praise Indra, who is praiseworthy, is having many diverse forms, is clever, is most mighty, and is the best to be reached of all to be attained goals. By this strength he slays 7 enjoyers and conquers many well-matched opponents or illusory images. 7 enjoyers correspond to the 5 sensory organs, the mind and the experiencer I. Indra helps one to overcome many illusions or unrealities of his mind. Jivatma is activating I-ness or I feeling in living beings. 120.7. Ni taddadhishe varam param cha. O Indra, in whose house you befriend with protection, in his house you deposit inferior and superior wealth. You fix the quick-moving mothers, the space and earth. Thus, you accomplish many deeds. Inferior and superior refer to physical and spiritual respectively. That is the essence of the Rik. 120.8. Ima Brahma Brihadivo, the foremost procurer of Atmajnana, one belonging to the lofty sky, loudly declares these Vedic hymns for Indra. He stays as self-ruler of the great enclosure. He uncovers door of all selves. Implied meaning: Jivatma, looking outwards, rules over the mind and body. Staying within the heart space, the same Jivatma leads one to oneness of all self when viewed inwards, into the mind. Eva Mahan Brihativo, 120.9. The great spiritual Soma sacrificer, one belonging to the lofty sky, spoke on Indra, who is a part of his own body. In this way, those coming into existence in Mother Prakriti impel blameless resources of their own and grow with strength. Implied meaning of the Srak is: seer of the Suktam has been talking about Jivatma residing in his own heart. He has also talked about manifestation of diverse forms present in Mother Prakriti, which are creations of Indra, universal manifested self. In other words, he is giving a summary of the Suktam in this Rik. Suktam 121. This is again one of the very famous suktas of Rigveda. Rishi Hiranyagarbha Prajapatya Devada Ka Prajapati Chandas Tushtu. This suktam is considered to be one of the most important suktas. Seer of suktam is said to be Hiranyagarbha, the universal golden or shining egg from which this universe came into being. From this one can infer that the seer is imagining himself to be Hiranyagarbha, or it is his assumed name. In this suktam, the seer says that Lord of all born beings is one only. Refer the last Rik of the sutta. All births are being superimposed on this birthless state of Atma. With this introduction, meanings of the Rik should become easier to understand. Hiranyagarbha samavartadagre bhudasya jada padireka asi. 121.1. Hiranyagarbha alone came into being or exhibited himself in the beginning. He was the one Lord of all material forms. He upholds earth, the space, and all these manifested objects. We serve that happiness-giving resplendent one with oblations. In the theory of creation proposed here, the seer is saying that let the universe be assumed to be born from the resplendent universal egg called Hiranyagarbha. From that egg, basic forms of matter and objects made of matter came out. The egg corresponds to the universal manifested self. Last part of the Rik is repeated in all other Riks except the last one. Yeah, Atma Balada Yasya Vishwa, 121.2. We serve that happiness-giving resplendent with oblations, resplendent one with oblations, who is giver of Atma, the self, and is giver of vigor, spiritual energy, whose order the whole universe honors, whose order shining beings honor, whose shelter is immortality, and whose non-protection is death. Hiranyagarbha is giver of Jivatma to living creatures. He bestows energy to them. Shining beings are ruled over by him. His shelter is deathlessness. This is the implied meaning of the riddle. 121.3. Yeah. Pranato Nimishato Mahitvaiga. We serve with oblations that happiness-giving resplendent one, who, breathing and twinkling the eyes, became the only one Lord of the universe with his greatness, and who is the master of all bipeds and quadrupeds. This should be clear enough without any additional comments. 121.4. Yasya me himavanto mahitva yasya, because of whose greatness these mountains came into being, whose ocean is said to be full of sweet water, whose arms are those directions, we serve that happiness-giving resplendent one with oblations. This look and the next two: manifestation of mountains, water streams, the directions, the space, earth, the sun, air, etc. are being attributed to Hiranyagarbha. Yena Devrugra Prithvi Chadrilha. 121.5. By whom the space is made huge and the earth is made solid, and by whom the sun is maintained, and who measures air in the atmosphere, we serve that happiness-giving resplendent one with oblations. Yam Grandasi Avasa. 121.6. We serve with oblations that happiness-giving resplendent one, whom the space and earth, who are crying piteously, are being propped up with protections, look upon with a trembling mind, and in whose protection the sun rising up shines. 121.7. Aboha yad birhatir Vishwamayan. When the great water streams, which could mean Atmiya Soma Dharas, verily holding the embryo and generating the soul of Agni, reach everywhere, then that one spirit of shining beings came into being. We serve that happiness-giving resplendent one with oblations. Hiranyagarbha bestows existence on physical and subtle subjects like shining beings. He activates them by giving spiritual energy to them, or existence to physical inert objects, and shining or divine beings is given by him. (121.8) Yashchida apo mahina paryavashyat. We serve with oblations that happiness-giving resplendent one, who with his greatness only behold the water streams, holding strength, who generates this knowledge sacrifice or creation of universe, and that one who is presiding deity in all shining beings. 8, 9 and 10. Based on earlier comments, meaning of this riddle should be easy to comprehend. Hiranyagarbha encompasses all born beings and not Atma directly. Mano himsi janitaya. 121.9. We serve with oblations that happiness-giving resplendent one. He is the creator of the earth and that one whose ordinances are true, who created the space and earth, and who created the water streams, which are great and pleasure-giving. Last stroke of the Sutta. Prajapate natvadedanyanyo vishvajadani parita babhuva yad kamaste juhumastanno astu vayam syama padayorayinam. O Prajapati, none encloses that Atma, and none different from you, all these things that are born. Therefore, what noble desires we have and for which we offer oblations to you, may those be with us. May we be possessors of all kinds of wealth. Next suktam, 122. Chitramaha Vasishtha Chandasagni Devadagni Chandas Trushtub Jagati. Works in this suktam are comparatively simple and easily understandable without much additional explanations. Vasumcha Chitramahasam 122.1. I praise soul of Agni, who is desirable, is giver of happiness, is a guide in all homes, is not malevolent, is provider of dwellings, and is granter of wonderful gifts. Offerer of oblations and lord of the house, Agni gives comfort, all nourishing food, and wealth consisting of heroes. No comment may be necessary on this. 122.2. Yushano Agne Pratiharya me vacho. O highly intelligent Agni Atma, covered with ghee and delighting yourself, please accept my speech. Knower of all born beings, may you impel unimpeded motion for a seeker of Brahman. Following your command only, shining beings generate fruits of action. No comment. 122.3. Saptadhamani Pariyannamartyo. O immortal Atmiyagni, moving above the 7 homes, you give gifts for an offerer of oblations and performer of good deeds. May you gladden yourself. Whoever approaches you with firewood, you delight him with wealth, which is very abundant and with good offsprings. This ruk and the next ruk. Comment. 7 homes could be 5 sense organs, mind, and the soul of a performer of sacrifice. 7 sacrificers could be 7 angirasas, who are shining like burning charcoal. Alternately, they could also be 5 sense organs, the mind and ego of the seer of the suktam. Yajnasya kedum prathamam purohitam 122.4. Holding oblations, 7 sacrificers invoke Agni, who is the symbol of sacrifice, is foremost, is placed in front, is mighty, is listener of praises, whose back is smeared with ghee, who is a sprinkler of water, is a granter of wealth for liberal sacrificers, is associated with good heroes, and is resplendent. 122.5. Tvam Duda Prathamo Varenya. O Agni, you are the messenger of the self, the foremost and is most excellent. Being called upon for immortality or nectar, you rejoice. Maruts cleanse you. Fire sacrificers shine you with Vedic hymns in the house of offerer of oblations. Comment on this. Air cleanses fire or makes the fire burn better. Oxygen of the air increases efficiency of combustion. That is the underlying principle. Isham Duhan Sudugham Vishwadhayasam 122.6. O my highly intelligent spiritual Agni, you yield easily milkable, all-sustaining enjoyment for a performer of sacrifice who is fond of sacrifices. Agni, whose face is smeared with ghee, illuminates the three abodes of Vrita. Going to all sacrifices and staying there, you, Agni, desire for good, intelligent, and active sacrifices. Obviously, Agni, gross energy in different forms, gives physical comfort. Spiritual Agni procures bliss of Brahman by revealing truth. This is the essence of the Rig. 122.7. Tva midasya ushaso vyushtishu. O resplendent Agni, thoughtful men in the breaking of dawns daily make you only a messenger of self and honor you. So also shining beings cleansing you make you grow by offering oblations in a non-violent sacrifice for your enjoyment. No comment on this. 122.8, last book in the Sutta. Nitva Vasishtha Ahvandavajinam. O Agnyatma, most excellent sages, invoke the mighty you. In knowledge sacrifice, they praise the ordainer you. May you hold nourishing wealth in performers of sacrifices. May you always protect us with prosperity. With that, we conclude today's session. Viramastavat.